who takes people out into the field and has them either live interact with their eyewitness Sasquatch. Wow, my little camera thing here is just not happy. Oh, here we go. Just let me tighten that up, I think. Whoa, what's going on here? Wow, when you got kids in the house, oh my goodness, look at that. Whew, there's my chest. Okay, it's gonna work. Wow. Okay, I'll just squint down a little bit. So, box in the back. Not even working hard here. Just so I got back from Nia Bay, and then I did an expedition right after that. Hello, Amarillo, Texas. And gosh, not much happened. I'll tell you, actually, something did happen that was pretty significant, and I would like to talk about it. I can't. I wonder if I could duplicate the sound, but I guess it's important for Sasquatch researchers, especially. Oh, here we go. I can do it this way. It's very important that Sasquatch researchers learn about this. So there's a pine grouse out in the wilderness, and it makes this sound loud and clear, like very, very loud. It sounds exactly like two rocks knocking together, which is a sound that potentially Sasquatch can do. And so it's really and there's really not any debate about it. There's videos. We saw a grouse. We were led up to believe that potentially a Sasquatch was making that sound, and it's not. It's not a Sasquatch sound. So if you hear that sound, there's also another sound, another animal, an owl that clacks with his beak. So I'm still convinced there have been moments that Sasquatch make that sound, but it's been a big deal at the research area. Just coming to that conclusion. A little frustrating because I've spent years talking to bird experts of all kinds and talking about that sound, and they had no knowledge of it. Uh, and I spoke to some experts this week, and their answer was like, there's hundreds of thousands, millions of sounds that birds make all over the world, but specifically here in North America. So it's an important lesson that there's a lot of other wildlife out there, and it's not all Sasquatch. So and even you can have Sasquatch events happening because I literally had a sighting. So that I haven't talked to. I think Darren's the most important person that I talked to because I may have seen the same Sasquatch that he saw last year. But I had that sighting because the Sasquatch. I was attracted to the area because the grouse were making that clack clack, and I thought it was a Sasquatch making that sound, and it's not. So, or if it is, he's making the damn sound, and the birds are making that sound. You could say maybe that owls go hoop hoot hoot, and the Sasquatch go hoop hoop, and it's like an owl sound. And I've actually heard owl sound significantly similar to it. And I'm also aware of this. I mean, this is frustrating as hell. Literally, right before Jeff Meldrum saw Sasquatch in my movie Discovering Bigfoot, there was a sawweed owl sound, a very specific sawweed owl sound. But the problem is that sawweed owl sound is accompanied by like thunder, boom, 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 and then we see Sasquatch. So what's frustrating is, you know, in that case specifically, and I've heard other times where is it a sawweed owl or is it a Sasquatch? We find tracks, we hear big. If you hear big booming crashing sounds, sawweed owls are just little birds. They can't do that. So but you can understand how it's frustrating. Here we are trying to deduce or interact with Sasquatch, and there are other they're mimicking other birds and animal sounds, and you just shake your head. You want to go, can you not do that, Sasquatch, please? Because it's frustrating. So let's see what kind of questions we have here. Working hard or hardly working? Oh, Caitlin Wise, hello, Caitlin. So um, I can do this here maybe. Let me try something, Caitlin. Let's see if I can get this happening. I used to be able to click on a person. Can't click on you, Caitlin. Damn, this is the best way to do it because I'd like to make Caitlin. Caitlin went on my expedition. Gosh, Caitlin, how much success did you have? Let's think here. Did you have a sighting? I don't think you had a sighting. We had those amazing tracks. We heard those incredible sounds. Oh my God, the sounds were so cool, guys. So this is, in fact, I'll tell you about what happened. Oh, it's hot. So we're three Sasquatch researchers. That's what we're out there to do. So we're sitting, and the place that Larry and Analia allowed us to stay at their piece of land call it the Sasquatch Highway in Nia Bay. There's all kinds of really cool stories. I'll tell you about one that's I thought was amazing too. Really important story. But first, so we're there, and there's three of us, and we're, let's say, in truth, we're on the west side of the property. Property's about an acre, not very big. And I hear this woo, like loud, really loud. I think, oh, it's just a dog, right? No big deal. And the dogs kind of start barking. Then I hear it a second time, woo, and this time I think Caitlin kind of raised an eyebrow, going, "What the hell?" And maybe Vivian did too. And I'm like, "Wow, that's a loud dog that doesn't really sound like a dog." Third time, woo! I'm like, "Okay, we're Sasquatch researchers. I think there's a Sasquatch right over there calling. It's echoing. It's way louder than a dog can do." So we move over there, and we only got one more call, and we couldn't really pinpoint because we were going to start moving towards it. But then we found tracks and stuff after. So that was really amazing. Uh, and just so many discoveries were made out there that was absolutely incredible. So, um, and I have so much to talk about from that, even the things that I personally learned on my personal journey were just absolutely outstanding and amazing. And it's all because of the work and cooperating with these incredible colleagues that I had the honor and pleasure of meeting, which I'm so grateful for. But I want to tell a story because people have asked me before, even on this live show, about, have you ever seen any humor in Sasquatch? And I love this story. So this is Brian from Nia Bay. I believe it was his uncle. So probably wasn't very long ago. His uncle. So in the property we have, there's there's a tributary creek that leads off to the ocean. Apparently, Brian's uncle would go fishing, and he'd throw a net right across this creek. And so, anyways, one day it was dark. He's got that net across the creek, and he's pulling this net, and something pulls back like hard, and his net like gets pulled. He's like, "What the hell? That doesn't make any sense." And so he pulls the net back, and something pulls on him really hard. He's like, "Oh my god, this is crazy." So he goes back to his equipment, grabs a light, comes back over, grabs the net again, and it's pulled really hard. And he looks over, it's a Sasquatch standing there pulling on his net. Now you gotta tell me, guys, if that's not humor. Imagine you're a Sasquatch and there's this man, and he was probably making rock knocks. I guarantee you, I know Sasquatch. He was making sound or whatever, booming, talking, walking around, splashing the water. I guarantee you the guy was just like in a zone, just doing his thing, right? So you get that way when you're working, you're comfortable in a place. So, and that Sasquatch pulling on, and not trying to steal any fish. He's not trying to harm the guy. He's just pulling on the net just to be a little prankster. I mean, isn't that cool? This is how amazing this species is. Like, whoever had a story about, well, I guess there's probably lots of stories about chimpanzees and baboons doing cool stuff like that. But I don't know. It's just part of the humor, part of the fun that I see with the Sasquatch, because Sasquatch play. And man, that's what I'm interested in right now. That's a primary thing for me, is I need to get these guys to play. Those are the best dog trainers, animal trainers in the world. They don't use treats anymore. They play. And this is what we really got to think about, guys, is how are we going to get the Sasquatch to come play with us? Because I've seen them do it so many times. I've seen them want to play and want to come do stuff. I just don't know how to get to that next level. How do I get them to catch a ball? Maybe I should be out there throwing a football back and forth, playing frisbee. Throw a frisbee out in the bush, see if a Sasquatch catches it and throws it back. Wouldn't that be amazing? And that's not crazy. That's not crazy at all. Maybe that's a good idea right there. So, anyways, lots of stuff going on here. Jason Shoot, hey, any insight or experiences with gulfs? Wolves? Gulfs? I don't even know what that is, Jason. So, or glyphs, of course. What's a glyph? Why am I having a brain fart? Is that where they stack the rocks? Hieroglyphs. Oh, I think it's probably hieroglyphics, like writing. If you're talking about writing, none at all. Isn't that interesting too? Let's even talk about that. I've never seen any signs of Sasquatch writing at all. Any glyphs, if that's what he's referring to, if I'm not mistaken, any writing we've ever seen of Sasquatch is done by people writing about. You see a human, then you see a giant Sasquatch written beside it. But yeah, never anything written. They leave berries. I've seen them make little stick circles and then put berries in the middle of them. They stack rocks. So come on, admit it, you made the head. And let's talk about that, Alan. I made the head, also made a man run faster than any man can run. What else did I do? There's whole bodies in video 2 and 3, so I had to make the whole body, right? And then what else I got? Video 2. Oh, and there's a body for video 6 too. Come on, Alan, you're gonna have to have more levels of. Come on, you made the head, you made the body, you made it run faster than the fastest human being on the board. You made the DNA, right? You fooled all the expeditioners. You fooled Jeff Meldrum. I fooled everybody. I'm the man, or not. So nobody ever that's gone out on expedition with me ever has accused me of hoaxing the field. Ever. No one has seen any evidence in any way, shape, or form. I take people out to the backcountry wilderness, and every single one of them knows when it's a Sasquatch that comes around, it's a Sasquatch. And none of them ever said there's some guy out there, or you got a mechanical head when Darren had a sighting. When Stefan had his sighting, there was a guy walking around in a suit. Nope, it's not. And you know what? It's ridiculously preposterous to think that. It's just stupid. It's Sasquatch out there, so it's repeatable. And can you speak to Canada's wild child? Greg Boyd is asking me, can you speak to Canada's wild child? I don't know who that is. So hello Todd, hello Quang, Scott. Hi from your Connecticut fan. Scott, hey Scott, check out Sasquatch Theory, Mark Twain Forest videos. Cool. Hello from Portugal. That's so awesome. All the way out into Europe. That's amazing. Can you speak about Canada's wild child incident? I don't know what that is. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so out of the loop with stuff. I just don't watch the news. I'm just not watching. There's no facial expressions. Well, you ever see a deer make facial expressions? Just the stupidity is just never going to stop from you, Alan. Uh, if you understand the circumstances that's transpiring, of course, there's no facial. In fact, I've never, to be honest, every time I've ever seen a Sasquatch, I've never seen them smile. They just have like a look like even like a gorilla holds a face though. A chimpanzee holds a face. No, ever seen a video of a gorilla smiling or a chimpanzee smiling? I don't think I have. And not to say it hasn't happened, because we've had a tremendous amount of interactions with gorillas and chimpanzees and bonobos and baboons. So, but I mean, I live with my dog, and she smiles once in a while. I see her get excited and smile. So, but it just under the circumstances where I'm interacting with them, it's really not appropriate for them to be smiling or making facial expressions. That's a really preposterous statement, to say the least. What do you think about the Bigfoot vocalization from the 70s recording by that guy? I forget. If you're talking about the Sierra sounds, I feel they're very, very legit. Aloha from Hawaii. Man, I want to go to Hawaii. Can you speak about Canada? I don't know. Uh, Never heard anything out there in Nia Bay. Just a whoop whoop out there. So who's this? This is maintenance worker. He says, never heard that sound out there in Nia Bay. Just that whoop whoop out there. That's cool. And so you've been to Nia Bay. That's so cool. So maintain worker ENT, whoop whoop. Could that have been an owl? Are you sure it was a Sasquatch? Are there any Sasquatch in San Isabella oh gosh, I don't know. I haven't been to Colorado, Robert, so don't know. Greg Boyd. Hey Todd, love the videos so far. Your knowledge is pretty amazing. Thank you, Justin. Sherry, thank you for all your many years. You're welcome. It is about public education. That's what the movie's about. That's why I do these shows. Hello, Catfight Paradise. Can't believe I finally got it the right time. Yeah, it's cool to have you here. Hello, Mr. Standing from Huntington, West Virginia. I love the legend of West Virginia. I've heard stories about West Virginia, and I would love to go see it. I've been to Ohio and down to the border of Kentucky. Isn't West Virginia right over there? I'm pretty good, Catfight Paradise. I'm quite excellent, actually. Birds are imitating Sasquatch? Not at all, Daryl. It's the Sasquatch are imitating the birds. I make no bones about that. And, birds just make that sound. It's amazing to hear a freaking, it was really hard for all of us to settle in and go, that's a damn grouse going clack, clack. It was very difficult for us to absorb, because it's clearly like, it sounds like two rocks being banged together. So one of the first sightings were in the 70s in the peaks of, oh, that's cool, Robert. Hey Todd, your findings are astonishing. Great work. Keep it up. Thank you. Thank you from Reno, Nevada. Wow. Sasquatch out in Reno, Nevada, maybe? Sasquatch Theory with Miguel Ramirez. Please check it out. Cool. Stop it. No such thing as Bigfoot. Thank you, Air Force retired. You're completely wrong, though, sir. Check the evidence. Do some research. Hey, Caitlin. I wish I could just somehow click on that. How does anybody do anything on this freaking, like, I can't click on Caitlin anymore? Boy, that really sucks. I can't even, like, delete messages, or that really sucks. If anybody can make Caitlin Wise, you can make her a moderator, please do. She's about to get really. Caitlin is interested in training, like many people are, to become a Discovering Bigfoot research center in Ohio. So if you know anything about Sasquatch in Ohio, send us an email to the website. Caitlin is going to be killing that. Caitlin is having tremendous success in Ohio. Caitlin's looking to start cooperating with people, and yeah, I'm really excited to have her on board. She's very passionate about this, to say the least. She's very gifted, and I'm very excited to be working with her and to expand the cooperation with her, and getting her to meet people and expand as much as humanly possible. What's up, Todd? I've heard one mimic a frog. Sounded like a frog croaking through a. And do you really know that this is mid-southern Sasquatch? Are you sure it wasn't a frog? Did you see the Sasquatch? Right? Because we get mocked for that, and rightly so. You know, I make mistakes. This is tough. It's a discovery. You make mistakes, but don't be afraid to make those mistakes, because that's what a damn discovery is about. Is theory. Figure it out. It's working. It's not working. So why can't we put a bottle of melatonin in an apple and then sleep? Yeah, because if you do that, Rosita, you're putting bad intentions out there, and they won't touch the apple. You're not dealing with some, you know, bear. No respect to those, but yeah, it's these are very spiritual, incredible beings, and I've proven it over and over with my expeditioners. These guys are at such a high frequency. They are amazing, and obviously so. They're so connected to nature. They're so in tune. They're so, like, telekinesis. They're so psychic. And yeah. Hey, Todd, Brian here. Keep on trucking, brother. Is that Brian? Damn it. I'd like to make you. Why can't I make anybody a moderator? Hey, Brian. So Brian was one of my guides out in Nia Bay. If that's Brian. Hey, how's it going, my friend? Some stuff looked real. The stuff had them running up the mountains. Oh, thank you. Goodbye, Air Retired. Oh, anyways, why do you whistle when the Bigfoot are in the area? Just curious. Well, that's a good question. My spiritual animal that I earned through a real spiritual animal ritual was a red-tailed hawk. So I'm making that sound as best I can. And for the second time ever, I heard the Sasquatch do it, and I don't do it very well. Like, a red-tailed hawk doesn't sound like that. Like, I can't do a sound for red. My whistling's getting worse as I get older. No matter how much I practice, it's getting bad. But it's my calling card. It's my thing, and I feel very spiritually connected in that way. So that's the sound. And I put emotion into it. I put feeling into it, and they've returned. So hey, Caitlin. See, Caitlin knows Brian. I love it when people cooperate through the meaning of that. So please join us and subscribe. Thank you, Andy. Hit the subscribe icon and the bell for alerts. Thank you so much for support. I agree. Thank you, Brian. Hey, Todd, how you doing? I'm doing great. Joe Dirt. I remember Joe Dirt. You've been here a few times. Air Force retired. If you don't have anything positive to say, you're just ignorant, and get off the channel. We're not interested in. If you have something intelligent to say, why don't you go check the evidence? Because the evidence is so significant, it's ridiculous. So yeah, go somewhere else. This is really constructive, intelligent people. They're working towards a very important discovery, and I don't want to hear your apology when the discovery happens. So you had a closed mind. Remember, you're that guy. So, do you know the work of Lederick, the Mount Van? Oh no, I don't. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Thank you, Arthur. What's your opinion on Dogman? Nothing. I don't know anything about that stuff. He's just rambling again. Okay. A little bit of bantering going on there. Hey, Todd, heard the rumor before that Bigfoot could imitate different animals. Oh my God. Like, Absolutely. Absolutely. Their vocal range is absolutely outstanding. Well, again, Survivor Man, a professionally trained singer, made a call just out of passion, out of the artistic beauty that's within him. He made a beautiful call, a professionally trained, excellent singer that he is, and the Sasquatch duplicated it back. 5 minutes later, precisely the same call, just 5 times louder. That should tell you a lot about what their vocal capabilities are. That's one of the things I tell people is that's why we in Nia Bay had to come to the conclusion that it's extremely likely that was a Sasquatch that made those sounds because it's so loud, so booming, right? So, Todd, I'm going up to the San Isabel National Forest soon. I listen for Sasquatch troops. Uh, Breaks are my favorite thing. Breaks are significant evidence. If you don't know about breaks, I talk about them all the time, and they're in my movie. Really look for that. Structures are interesting. Um, but you know what? The best way to find Sasquatch is to go love nature. Love the plants, love the animals. There's so much edible foods out there. There's so many shoots and plants and berries, and go look and love nature, appreciate the birds, appreciate the animals. And the Sasquatch have a tendency to come around when you do that because they're teachers. They love nature so much they love to teach it. And yeah, Expedition Bigfoot on Sunday. Okay. Keep up the great work, Todd from Washington State. I will. It's just to share. John that said that is his name. Uh, G'day, Todd from South Australia. Hey, good day from. I love Australia, man. I'd like to get back out there. Todd, Jacob here again. uh, and Jace, and Nikki, my wife, said he'll give us a shout out. Shout out to Jake and his wife Nikki from Ohio. So I'm actually. Oh, I should tell you guys this. So this might sound crazy, but um, I'm going to the gathering of the Juggalos in Ohio. That's the Insane Clown Posse. I'm actually a guest speaker. I think it's like August the 5th, approximately. I'll be on the poster and stuff. I met these guys. They brought me out to their show, um, and I just respect them. I appreciate how they've had great success. How they grew up in a hard area of Detroit through a really hard time in the history of Detroit, and they generated greatness and success, and they do great things, and they have a great message, and I really respect them. So I'm going to the gathering of the Juggalos, is what they call it, from the Insane Clown Posse concert in Ohio, and then they're coming on an expedition with me. Crazy, right? So they're gonna wear their makeup and everything. Gonna have a 7-day expedition. I'm taking these urban warriors into the wilderness, and there's a kindred spirit there that I feel, and a greatness to them, and I'm really excited because it's something new. Don't hate on it because it's just me trying new things. I gotta keep doing new things, guys. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result is the definition of insanity. And I've got to do something so extreme. I gotta get out there. I gotta fight for this. I gotta make some crazy stuff happen because the Sasquatch, this discovery is so important and it's so hard. It's hard. You want me to say it's easy? I just had a couple expeditions that produced very little evidence, and I want more. I do, but it's hard, guys. It's really hard. This research is hard. It's sometimes it feels like 5 steps forward, 4 steps back. But we fight for it. And we're very excited. So, hello, Brian from Florida. Hello, Robert Taylor. I hear you. Hello, Mr. Canadian. I am Canadian. Canada's wild child again. I don't know anything about it. Hello, Len. Hello from Los Angeles. Todd, what do you think of Expedition Bigfoot? I don't know anything about the show. I'm worried. Actually, I do know a little bit. I'm worried that they're faking stuff. So I got a little inside information. I just don't know, guys. Hey, congratulations to them if they're doing good. They have multiple seasons. So, Todd, is there proof out there other than a dead body that will make the world believe that Sasquatch is real? Well, Arthur, in case you don't know, I don't really give a rat's patootie about the rest of the world. There's 100 million people in the United States and another 100 million people all over the world in surveys that know Sasquatch is real or very probably real. Those are the people that I'm going to reach out to. That's 200 million people is my goal. I'm going to come back in the next few years with evidence to absolutely convince those people that this research is legit and that Sasquatch are here, and we're going to start expanding the discovering Bigfoot research, the discovery of Bigfoot. We're going to expand it dramatically with 200 million people, and that's more than I could ever handle, right, in my lifetime. Those 200 people will go off and grow into so much more, and that's what I care about. I'm not science, for God's sake. Jeff Meldrum had the feet recognized as a real footprint from a real indigenous species that lives here in North America, but just the feet. That's how preposterous science has been. I mean, there's some major resistance behind this, guys. But that's another reason I'm out here. Is I really I want to raise up the frequency of everybody. I'm out here to tell you all that Sasquatch are absolutely real. Don't take my word for it. I take people out and show them a Sasquatch. It's what I do. I've been doing it for a long time, and this research is absolutely authentic. And there's many researchers out there that are working hard, busting their ass, doing amazing, authentic work. I commend them and I thank them for all that they do. Excuse me. So now this is good. Joker John Roberts. Do you think they could be in the Los Angeles forest? Of course not, right? But then Claudia Ackley, right? Man, she filmed them. I don't know how the hell they got in there. It's in this urban area of LA. I don't know that but there's city all over the damn place. The Sasquatch were in there, and I'm extremely convinced her video and her sighting is authentic. Extremely convinced, like 99%, guys. But I don't know how the hell they got, what they do, how'd they get in there, and what's going on with all that. So, um, wow. So I don't know. They can get into crazy places. They're impressive. They're an amazing species. So, and another thing too is in the Claudia Ackley situation, she'd go around talking to people like, yeah, I saw a Sasquatch. So there's potentially dozens, maybe hundreds of people that saw the Sasquatch. Who are you going to call? Who are you going to tell? You might as well just keep your mouth shut, you know? So, hello, Jeffrey Rizzo. Thank you for your compliment. We need more footage and better cameras. Maybe that's what it's going to take, right? I don't know. This is what I'll tell you: is the Sasquatch are my teachers. They're the masters, and I'm the student. So they've got a plan, and I'm just the conduit of that plan. But I feel it coming, guys. I feel like I'm ready. I'm growing. I'm doing everything I can to be clean and open, and reach out and facilitate this discovery as best I can. I'm glad to hear, Todd. This is from Joe Dirt. You had success and learned more about the Sasquatch. So one day we might understand that. And that's totally the thing, right, Joe? So many things in this world we do not know. Oh my God, critical thinking. Like, right? We're just as soon as we find out we're in a box and we get out, it's just a bigger box and a bigger box and a bigger box. When does it end? So that's awesome. What hasn't anyone found? Why hasn't anyone found giant? I have found scat. Joker John Roberts. I have found scat. I showed scat to Survivor Man in a fancy restaurant. I've talked about that. So I've had scat quite a few times. What effect do you think would have on the ecosystem if hypothetically Sasquatch was removed out of one? What a good question. What effect do you think it would have on the ecosystem if hypothetically Sasquatch was? Because if you remove wolves, they're a keystone species, right? You remove deer, bad stuff happens. That's such a deep question. This is from Jinx. Oh, I have no idea. There's maybe not a lot, maybe a lot. You know what? I'm just not smart. I just don't know enough. I'm too ignorant to answer that question. That is a deep, deep question. What kind of harmony, what kind of keystone do they provide for the environment? So, are they even necessary? Are there environments that the Sasquatch don't exist in where nature thrives? I would say yes to that. But what changes? What do they actually cause in the environment? And the answer is I have absolutely no idea. So, wow, that's yeah, what a deep question, but it's beyond my ability to answer that question, way beyond it. Do they use tools? Not usually. Have you come across any? No. Hello, Royal Creations. I'm just sorry, guys. I'm going to scroll down here a little bit. Somebody made a donation that I'm very grateful for. So, hello, Tom. Do you have a question for me, Tom? It's very excellent of you to make a donation. I am a full time Sasquatch researcher. This is what I do, and that's it. So, if you're passionate about this discovery, you can go to Patreon and make a donation. I don't recommend you make donations through YouTube because they take most of the money. Or you can go to my website, discoveringbigfoot.org, and make a donation, make a monthly donation. If you can't afford it, if bills are tight, don't you dare do it. So if you have tremendous abundance and it's easy for you to make a donation, by all means, I appreciate that support. It goes directly to Sasquatch research, guys, 100%. This is all I do. This is my life. So I'm a dad, and I have friends, and I have relationships, and I do Sasquatch. I have my personal life, and my professional life is all about, and I'm just, in it up to here. I love cameras. I love equipment. I love I do electric bikes because we ride electric bikes. I'm an electric bike mechanic. I fix my trailer. Everything I do, like I literally be out there changing a tire. It's for Sasquatch research. I get stuck out in the bush and I'm digging myself out, and it's for Sasquatch research. It's all for Sasquatch, guys. So, what are your favorite Bigfoot Sasquatch movies? Also, which ones do you think do a disservice? Um, well, my favorite one is Harry and the Hendersons. I love that movie. And then Jeff Meldrum just made it so rich because he considers himself the little kid in the movie. Jeff Meldrum looks a lot like him, and he considers himself like that kid. So I just think that's amazing. Do you have a Bigfoot encounter story? Thank you, Andy. You can share it with us. Go there. Yeah, do that. So especially if you're from Idaho. Did I say Ohio with Caitlin? Uh-oh. Yeah, it's Idaho. She lives in the same state as Jeff Meldrum. When Caitlin goes and gets some more evidence and stuff, I'm gonna give Jeff a call. When she can start really precipitating things, I'll get Jeff to get out there. I'm sure he would love that. So, Caitlin, let Todd know maintenance worker is me, Brian. Okay, I do. I can't. I wish I could share mute microphone. I wish I could do something with adding you guys as moderators. That sucks that I can't do that anymore. Keep changing stuff. There's just a few more questions, guys. Oh, what is this one? I've been poking around down here in the valley between Yosemite and Lake Tahoe. Well, Johnny, there are Sasquatch in Yosemite. At least there were 10 years ago. It's very likely they're still there. What about the spiritual nature of Bigfoot? David M., they're so connected, man. They're so spiritually alive and awakened. It is, it's literally such, I feel like I'm so much in my infancy when it comes to them. Like so many people are, I feel, have a better spiritual connection and do well. Like I'm learning. It's a big part of my life right now. Probably the one of the most important areas of growth in my life right now is spiritually. And the Sasquatch are just at a level where everything about them, like really great spirituality to me and to all the people that I'm affiliated with and working with, is about connecting to nature and feeling it through nature, right? And that's walking around barefoot, connecting to trees, connecting to the earth. That's the deepest. That's my spiritual journey. Um, it's wonderful. That's how I feel I connect to. It's just nature, Mother Earth, really, and nobody's better at that than Sasquatch. I can literally see over and over again how the Native Americans and the First Nations people, their belief in the Great Spirit was literally taught to them by the Sasquatch. So many things they learned about survival and hunting and powwows. I'm strongly convinced they learned that from the Sasquatch. So you understand the incredible hunters and connected, brilliant, amazing Native Americans and First Nations people learned their spiritual philosophy from the Sasquatch, who are like masters of that. That's the level we're talking about, guys. And we're just, as human beings, we're just learning about, telepathy and remote viewing and mind speaking. The Sasquatch have always done this. They are literally light years ahead of us on that. So, with me, that's my problem, is going out with these immensely enlightened beings and being a good student so the master will teach me something. I know it's a cliche. When the student is ready, the master will appear. My job, and I think anybody's job working with Sasquatch, is to be a great student of nature and love nature, and they'll come to you and they'll teach you. Because I have nothing to offer them. I give them apples for gifts, but they don't want tools. They don't want my technology. They stay away from that because they don't need it, and technology is just it's damaging to you. So if you know what I mean. Caitlin, yes, that's Brian. Do you think some of them are gay? Well, sure, it would be. I appreciate all you're doing, Todd. Thank you, Johnny. They're absolutely Sasquatch in the Virginias. I hear a lot about that, and I'm gonna have to agree with you. I hear a lot of stuff, and I see a lot of what I call the ring of truth in many sightings in the Virginias. But just my heart tells me that, right? Thank you for bringing the truth about Bigfoot. You're welcome. Sorry, guys. Hi, Todd. Jody from Cape Cod. Hey, Jody. Man, I wish I could make you a moderator. Hope all is going well. Yes, all is excellent. Gosh, I just got a lobster and uh, you know, got your shirts and stuff. So thank you so much, Jody, for all your support and I hope you are very well. What effect do you think it would have on? Oh, I did that already. So that's the same question. They're in every state? I don't think so. I don't think they're in Hawaii. So and I don't know. Sasquatch supported Johnny Depp. I do like to laugh, guys. Just a few more questions. Actually, I want to scroll down here to Tom. The idea that paranormal human species branched off in the past and adapted to survive humanity is not a far fetched. They have learned to avoid us and live along us in the wilderness. Well, Tom, I see it as literally, that's a good way to explain it. Paralleled off, absolutely. We became civilization, but we became domesticated. Ooh, domestication syndrome, not good, right? They have literally just stayed so connected to nature. They live in perfect equilibrium, and there. Can you imagine, Tom, how free they are? And learn to avoid us. What a joke it is to avoid us. We're loud and obvious, and if I'm right, it's a I am right. I know I'm one of the most sure things I know about Sasquatch is they are telepathic. They can literally they can mind speak with you. They can feel your intentions. And I am right. I'm not even making bones about it. If you have bad intentions, they're just going to stay away from you. You know how easy it is to avoid a human being? You can feel him coming. You can feel his intentions. Most of us, we got to look at a human being and can see his intentions. You know, someone's hunting along with a gun. I mean, he's going to shoot somebody. Never mind the fact. And these are maybe that's not even paranormal anymore though. That's just telepathy is very real. But if I live in the wilderness and I know the sounds of the squirrels, the birds, I know how the deer move. I know when the wind currents are coming up as the sun rises and how the wind changes and how I can smell. You're never going to sneak up on a being like that. They're taught and intelligent. They stand together in groups. They have every freaking advantage. That just, if I talk to the best hunters in North America and I explain this to them about whitetail bucks, which are the most coveted species in North America. And if I said that I give like 5 advantages that the Sasquatch give, if I give that to whitetail bucks, he goes, you'd never see them. You'd never find them. They'd be elusive and they'd be a legend and unknown to science, just like the Sasquatch are. And they're that absolutely wonderful and amazing and a spectacular species. So what concerns me, Tom, is it's quite clear in the DNA evidence we have 19 times they've successfully bred with human beings, and that's gone back into the DNA. So is there any pure Sasquatch left? And I think the answer is yes. I think there will be pockets, maybe up in Alaska or, way down south in Texas, possibly, where they're just little pockets of Sasquatch that are completely, because we're likely getting genetic samples from Sasquatch, obviously getting genetic samples from Sasquatch that are interacting and tolerating people at the very least. More likely, though, interacting with them. So I bet there are Sasquatch that have no interaction with people, that can't stand us, that completely avoid us, and rightly so, intelligently so, because there's a lot wrong with our species. I mean, well, I think it doesn't matter. I don't think it matters on what side of the coin you fall. We got problems, guys. We got significant, significant problems. And man, to live free like a Sasquatch, like none of us know what freedom is like that. I got glasses. I My food is from farmers. I put shoes on. I wear pants. You know what I mean? I drive in my truck to get somewheres. I wake up in the morning and have all these things I need to do. And the Sasquatch are naked and just do. They have no possessions. They're naked. They wear nothing, and they just live in perfect equilibrium. And I can't even imagine how free that is. I used to feel pretty free with all this new stuff that's going on. My freedom has been really harmed and hurt, but um, as free as I think I've ever felt, it's a pittance to what a Sasquatch would be for freedom. You know, they don't own any property and nobody owns them. Their time is their own every day, and they live in abundance, guys. They wake up and go, I'm going to have bighorn sheep today. Or maybe I'll go get a moose. Or maybe I'm just going to sit here and listen to the wind blow and just relax and be calm and feel peace and serenity. Go drink from beautiful glacier waters. Like this is a Sasquatch, and I'll tell you something. one of the reasons we haven't made this discovery is there's never been a Sasquatch that didn't love being a Sasquatch. And that means being the opposite of us that's domesticated and civilized. And none of them have any urge to come out into the sick domestication. It's like a wild pig coming into a pig farm and then living happy. And I don't know, just they wild likes being wild, don't they? So, and we're really domesticated guys, like horribly, horribly. And domestication syndrome is a terrible, terrible thing. It breaks my heart. So, and nature bumps back. Look at me with the cold. Look at the viruses, right? Nature will get you. You think you can't, the tornadoes, the hurricanes, the tsunamis, never mind the viruses, never mind you mess with genetics and stuff, nature's going to bump back, man. Nature is so powerful. If you think you're above it, if you think you're not connected to it, you have my sincerest, heartfelt sympathies. Thank you. Thank you for your donations, Tom. I really appreciate it. So, and this is Rosetta. I believe Sasquatch can cloak, and many people do. Many of my expeditioners do. Gosh, if I did a survey, I know at least 25% of my expeditioners, very skilled researchers, very intelligent human beings from all facets of life, at least 25% are very convinced that Sasquatch are can, what's the word you use, cloak specifically. And some of my actually some of my favorite researchers are absolutely in the know. They don't believe it, they know Sasquatch can cloak, and I have to respect that. So uh, find another track, set pick to Caitlin and Vivian. Oh, found another track, sent pick to, oh, good for you, Brian. That's awesome. Brian, you need to go on my Facebook page. You're literally like, Brian, I know you weren't on expedition with me, but were you? You were there like almost every day. You took us out. You shared stuff with us. I mean, we had some. You and Caitlin had that incredible experience with the Sasquatch, with that female, which I never talked about. Well, basically, I'll tell you guys something. So this is the importance of transparency, and this is going to be the last part of my show. So we were up with about 12 people in an area where a female Sasquatch, in my opinion, had made some breaks and left a nice track, and also a young Sasquatch. And Caitlin, you did have that encounter with the young Sasquatch, which is amazing. You and Vivian went off on your own. I saw breaks from a young Sasquatch, and they had a live interaction with a young Sasquatch, which is incredible. Congratulations. That is amazing, isn't it? So you know what? So much stuff goes on, and I just have all this stuff, and I forget those amazing things. I know, Caitlin, you won't forget. But anyways, we're out there at night, and so Caitlin is moving in a direction, and Brian's moving in a direction, and they have this feeling going on, and all this spiritual stuff. And until they got talking about it, they didn't realize they were both feeling probably infrasound that they were being hit by a potential female Sasquatch that was down there that I heard make potentially make a call. I wasn't 100% it was a female Sasquatch because it kind of was a whooping sound that potentially was an owl, but not likely. So a lot of people went in because they were cold. The only people that stayed out, so after at least 2 hours, it was quite chilly out there. It was at nighttime. After about 2 hours of just meditation and feeling that energy, hoping to have that Sasquatch come around, of the 12 people that were out there, it was me and three ladies under sleeping bags that were left. Me, ice trained Canadian, right? Just loving that temperature. I was very comfortable in it. And then three ladies are very special, very uh, how would I put it? They're very telekinesis, they're very mind speak. I could hear one of them talking, and so it was really impressive. They stayed out, and all three of them, was it three or four? One, two, three. Yeah, it was just three of them. All three of them heard a potential Sasquatch call, and they all strongly believe it was a Sasquatch call. And I'm about 70% convinced of it. I could feel it, I think. I try to be skeptical about that stuff, guys. I really do. So I don't see Sasquatch everywhere. And so, yeah, that's my live show for today, guys. Look at all the questions. My goodness. Oh, what's going on here? Saw a little blue mark. Oh, there it is. How much do you think you know about the Bigfoot? This is from Mark Dracovics. Well, I'll tell you this, Mark. How much do I think I know about this? This will be my last. And thank you for your donation. I really appreciate it. Um, I think I'm at a very elite level of understanding when it comes to connecting the wilderness and Sasquatch. I think I'm at a pretty high level. So my movie is speaks for itself. what I did with the people that I do, the list of people that I've worked with speaks for itself. And with all that knowledge, there's no way you could call me a Bigfoot or a Sasquatch expert. There's I would say I feel like I have maybe a 20% understanding of them, of what could potentially a human being could have another 80% understanding. So as much as I know at the level that I'm at, with all the people I've worked with and all the people that I've cooperated, and I've been trained and worked with amazing, incredible people, natives and scientists, and the list goes on and on. With all that, I would say at best I'm 20% along with the journey, and that's not very far, is it? So that would be about my level of expertise. So as a human being specifically, because there's only so much I think human beings have the potential at this point in our evolution to understand and explore. And until I have a sit down with the Sasquatch and they take me on as a real student and start teaching me, and even in that process, I think that'll take a long time. My native teacher, in the time that I had with him, it took a lot, and I learned so little of what he had to offer. And I hope someday that the Sasquatch take me on as a student the way he did, really take me under their wing, or someone that I'm working with, somebody somewhere gets this going on, somebody somehow gets this going on, and then takes us up to another level, because our understanding of them is, maybe I'm being arrogant with even saying 20%. I think I have a decent little idea of stuff, but overall, not much. So, but it's the best I got. It's the best I can do, and I'm fortunate enough to do this full time. I've been doing this full time for quite a few years. I've been studying and devoted to this study while working for, I'm almost at 20 years now, guys. Like 2004, so probably 18 years. I've been busting my ass fighting for this discovery, working for species protection, doing lawsuits, working to get new amazing videos and derive new evidence, and cooperate as much as I can. It's been a long time. And I've put my heart and soul into this, like heartfelt, everything I got. And that's a lot, because I'm a hard worker, and I'm very devoted to this. And so many other people are. And I feed off of John Benernagel, Jeff Meldrum, Native people, so many colleagues that teach me so much stuff. And it's a wonderful journey, and I'm very grateful to be on it, and I will continue to do so. So that's my show for today. Thank you very much for tuning in. Until the odds of me doing a show next week are extremely high, 99%. So, and then I'm doing my expeditions on and off. So, but at the very least, I'll be doing a show every 2 weeks. So, and there will be a Sasquatch Sunday video. I'm gonna have some fun, man. It's gonna be good. So, but anyways, until you come back again, take care of yourself, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye for now.